Well, what we're working on with iCadenza is trying to help singers and other performing artists, once they've gotten to the point where they have most of those elements in place, to promote themselves and their careers online and to create a presence online. Sometimes that's a very difficult step for performers to take. What do you think about the idea of creating a central place, kind of a central clearinghouse for singers and other performers to have their materials available online, including videos and performances?
I think that's a wonderful idea, and I love, do you know Yap Tracker as well?
Yes.
Yap Tracker, I think, has been a great service to young singers. I think that's helped a lot to interface and, reach out and all of this. I think that's been very helpful. Yeah, I think it's so crucial for singers to talk to each other, I think singers, what I've always hated about conservatories and universities, and yes, I'm going to say it, is the fact that, that teacher has his studio and that door is closed and the secrets stay inside that studio. And then, the other studio, the door is closed and the secrets are going to stay inside that studio. Come on, we all want everybody to sing better, don't we, So my friends who teach at Roosevelt University in Chicago, sorry if I knocked that, they have sort of an open door policy, and if you're not having luck getting the singer to do something, they walk them down the hall to the next teacher and say, have it go at this, see what you're going to do with this. And I think that's very healthy. I know I started to really become conscious, and I think it helped me to transition to teaching, because I did start to talk to my singer friends about technique, and I'd say, well, what the heck are you doing, And so I think just talking about it, and I have a thing about technique. Here's my saying, and all the Merillini have all heard me say it. There's two things about technique. It shouldn't hurt. And it's amazing sometimes when I'm giving a lesson and I finally extract a tongue out of the back of the throat or get a jaw to release or something, and they say, oh, that doesn't hurt then. And I say, and you've been singing how long with it hurting? So it shouldn't hurt. And hurt comes in different forms. It can be just not feeling as though the sound is coming out. It can mean you literally are feeling a ton of tension in the laryngeal area. It's all kinds of things, and that shouldn't happen. That's not a good technique then. And number two, the technique should service you and work most of that time. That it should really function, that you have a technique that really gets you through an aria and not leave you almost through the aria, So I think, and that's a very complicated thing, and that's why I think talking to singers and what's working for you. Like I always say, my voice lessons are usually quotes. It's like, well, Dolores Zajic says try this. Jane Egan said try this. Now Vincent Cole says this. Now so-and-so says this. But that's how I gathered all that wonderful knowledge, from being able to watch these people work at Marilla, for instance, and becoming friends with them and talking technique. Dolores Zajic will call me up from Verona, and I'll say, Dolora, where are you? I'm in Verona. I go, well, I may lose you. She calls me when I'm in the produce at the grocery store. And it's like, But Dolora loves to call up, and we talk about technique all the time. Vincent Cole and I, that's all we do. We talk about technique. It's just like an obsession now, I'm afraid.
Well, I think it's wonderful. It's so wonderful. It was so wonderful watching your master class because, you didn't just give advice, but it seemed like you had so many layers under that, and it could just kind of go infinitely, it seemed like, in terms of explaining what comes in and how things work together.
Well, I think, like I say, I've been at this a while, so you do accumulate a little knowledge, and I try to read things, different treatises as well, but I think the biggest thing is just doing it, but I think also, Dolores always says this, Dolores Zajic says, to be a good teacher, you have to be kinesthetically empathetic. And I think I have that in spades. Because when someone's singing, I feel it here, I know exactly what they're doing. And that's why I can help them find a solution quickly, because I literally know what they're doing because I can feel it. And oftentimes, like I say, they're the three big culprits: lack of breath, jaw, tongue. That's usually it, Solve those little issues, like I say, objectify those, and look for those solutions. Like I have a woman that works in New York most of the time, Deborah Birnbaum, one of my favorites. She's my breath specialist. And she comes and works with Merlini and the Adlers, and she just helps them unlock the air, unlock that breath to be able to, really create a good flow of air into the sound. So I rely on her as well, and I'm quoting her all the time. I use her techniques, Like I say, I steal from the best. Me, I do.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for the wonderful work that you're doing at San Francisco Opera. It's so outstanding and fantastic.
Thank
for the
you
singers
very
there.
much. And thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Thanks.